Fingiamo un down, non castare in giro, solo che mi tocca cargare.
Hello, this is Jimmy T with Ion in Yomono, and today we're honored to have Donna, the executive director
That'd be me.
of Mule Days. Donna, welcome back.
Thank you.
So I asked Donna to kind of talk about a post review. I said post-op because that gives it a bad connotation.
Yeah, we don't want to go there. If we don't want to go to how about a follow-up to an amazing event?
Yeah, absolutely.
Let's call it that.
After action report. There, I knew there was.
Oh, there you go. Because there's always lots of action.
Yeah. So the big question was Mule Days. It's always a success. Was it a success this year?
Yes, it was.
So tell me, first things first, let's talk about the people.
Oh, Mule Days draws some of the most amazing people from all over the country as far as being guests and attendees, contestants from numerous states. The effort that they go to be here is just commendable. They haul those animals all the way across the United States. We had guests from multiple foreign countries, and they've just, they're here because it's on their bucket list. And I think the most important people to talk about is the volunteers.
Yes.
Because there's hundreds of local people and some not so local. Some of these volunteers travel from other states just to come here and help put on this event. And so it absolutely cannot happen without those volunteers. And I don't care how many times we say thank you to them, it's not enough.
Absolutely. And the atmosphere at Mule Days is a little bit different than most fairs. I don't think I saw anyone who wasn't smiling unless they were getting ready to participate in an event. But the children were happy, the teenagers were happy, the parents, grown-ups. Like, Mule people are the best people.
They are. They're so down to earth. They really, really are. And it really is like a family. And, some families are more difficult than others, but I think we have a pretty nice family. And I couldn't agree with you more. And it was very heartwarming to hear so many people come up and say, this just feels so good. And some people said, oh, this is the best we've ever had. And of course, we're like, okay, I'm not sure if it was the best we ever had. How do you rate that? But people were happy. I don't know how many times people came up and gave me hugs and said, thank you for being a part of helping make this happen. But like I said, and they were thanking the volunteers. And of course, we need to thank everyone who sponsored us and supported us all through the year to help us get here. So you could just feel the teamwork. You could feel the happiness. It was good.
That dropped out of my brain. Let me see if I can pick it up again. Like you said, the volunteers, do you have an estimate of how many there are?
I can give you an estimate by how many lunches I order.
How many lunches did you order?
On most days, we ordered about 200 lunches.
Is that?
Yeah. And I'd like to say thank you to El Pollo Loco and Manny out at Subway for giving us great deals on lunches and helping keep our volunteers happy. So they really were very gracious and fed us well. So thank you, Manny, and thank you, El Pollo Loco.
They're great, and I resent Manny because his mustache is better than mine. We won't go there.
That's between you guys.
So let's talk about economically. How is ticket sales?
We did very well. So the grandstands were about 2/3 sold out. Next year, come heck or high water, they're going to be sold out. We're working on some different marketing strategies, and but general admission on Friday and Saturday was completely sold out. You could not find a place to sit.
That's great.
It was wonderful to see, absolutely wonderful to see. And the people that were there, they saw great entertainment. The contestants did a great job in their classes. Ryder and Bethany, oh my goodness, they were amazing. Ryder has got to be the most hyperactive person on the planet. The fact that he on Saturday did, well, they both did 2 shows, but he did double duty as the act and the clown. And I don't know if you noticed that he would run in and out of the arena in completely different clothing and face paint or no face paint. I was waiting for him to run out in his cowboy suit with his face paint still on by accident, but he never did. That man was up in the grandstands, running up and down the stairs, jumping the fence. And Felix Santana, what an amazing performance that he and his daughter Paloma put on.
They make horses do what very few people can do. It's just phenomenal.
Oh, and he is, again, Felix is such a, I don't even know quite what the word would be, but he is so excited to be here because he told me again, he reminded me that his very first public performance was at Mule Days for the 50th anniversary in 2019. And that's when he met Bob Talbot. And he and Bob have become friends. And so he was so excited that Bob was going to be here again. And Felix came and performed for free.
One thing, did you notice that Ryder missed once?
I did.
Shh. Okay. But
we don't talk about that.
The concert was a rousing success.
Yes, it was.
They had a surprise for us about after the concert. What happened to the cash?
Well, so to go back to the beginning, everyone was very excited when Amy announced that it was going to be Dave Stamey and Fiddlin' Pete opening up for Dave Stamey, because that's one of the questions we always get. Is concert going to be Dave Stamey? Is it Dave Stamey? Is it Dave Stamey? Well, bless his heart, he said yes. Fiddlin' Pete said yes. The concert was very successful. And thank you, Dave Stamey, for your support of Bishop Mule Days by donating your paycheck back.
Wow.
That's good man.
Class act.
Class act. Yeah.
And you said the dance was a success too.
Yeah, everybody loves Justin. And Justin and his band, in support of Mule Days, they didn't charge us what they would normally charge, and they put on a great performance. Everybody loves them. So it just, overall, everything was just, like I said, it had such a good positive feel. It really did.
It's one of those few things where I'm really sad. I mean, I work kind of hard there.
Yeah,
it's over. Dang.
Yeah. Well, it's that way every year. It's like it builds and builds and builds and builds and builds, and there's pressure, and then there's go, 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 and the adrenaline, and all of a sudden it's like boom. Oh, now what? And it's like the dust settles as everybody drives home, and you're like, oh, it's so quiet now.
But so how are the coffers looking? Because you wanted to have a reserve going into the future.
We are going to have a reserve going into the future.
Now, the big question. Can you tell us, will there be a Mule Days in 2026?
Yes, there will be.
There will be?
Yes.
Of course there will be.
Of course there will be.
Have you lined up any acts yet?
Not yet. But I need to start. We're already working on some fun events that will keep us busy throughout the year. So you're going to see us out in the public. We've got some, we can call them fundraisers, but we can just call them, fundraisers also. So we've got some cool things planned. So you'll be seeing us, and we hope you come and buy tickets and support us. And but yeah, we came out well this year, and a lot of it has to do with the support that we got from the community and across the nation. That definitely helped put us in a good, healthy direction. We looked at our finances under a microscope, and we cut a lot of spending out. And you know what? Nobody died. Nobody died. We cut out some things that have been a part of Mule Days for a long time, and you know what? Nobody was upset. And it put us in a lot better financial position. Obviously, the support that we got from Mike in the Tri-County Fair with our new contract was a great help. So thank you, Mike and Tri-County Fair, and all the support and hard work that you put in to help us get back on a very healthy financial road.
Now, everybody, it's kind of funny because almost everybody came forward and helped.
Yes.
Everybody who wanted to come forward came forward and helped.
Yes.
It was just outstanding. Now, I want to talk about a couple of the events during it. Is the bedroll race, is that what it's called?
Where we drag people behind. Yeah, huh? Yeah.
That was outstanding. That was the...
Isn't that crazy?
Yes. And the boot race, that was so cute.
Love the boot race.
And it was just, all the events were fun. I mean, everybody has their own personal favorite. And yes, the scramble is the best. That's just so much fun to watch the Packers try to...
You know, one of the funny thing is when people call into the office and they're like, well, you know, what is happening during the different shows? And especially people that have never been to Mule Days or never seen the live stream or anything like that, you know, when you talk about the scramble, they're like, you guys do what? I was like, yeah, you bring all these animals in and you turn them loose and they run around, and then the packers have to catch them and then pack them. And they're like, they just all run around. It's like, yeah, they do. They do. And you hope nothing like that ever really happens on a pack trip, because that's not a good thing. But I think one of the things that was kind of interesting and may not be known or may not be obvious to the crowd is, so the things that happen in the pack scrambles really aren't reality, right? Because they're not going to put all these goofy things on and run around, you know, that's just not reality, but it's greatly entertaining. So that's why we do it. But there were some things in the packing section that are far more realistic. And, you know, it may not be quite the ooh, ah factor, but the Packer's Choice, where they have the bridge and everything. And that's more real. And, you know, they have to go through the gates, and, you know, you're leading these pack strings over things that you would see maybe out there in real life as a packer. So that's a little more realistic.
And the water hazard.
Oh, yeah.
You're supposed to lead the horse and the mules across the water hazard. And I think only one person got them all across. He was like, the horse says, I don't think I'm going to do that. And you'll say, I'm out of here. It's right. It was, I hate to say it was kind of fun to watch, but
yeah,
you can convince a mule, but you can't make them.
Yeah, you can ask them.
You can ask them.
You can ask them, but you can't make them. But so, you know, that we have the real skill things like that, and the youth. My goodness, the youth packing this year growing phenomenally. So this year, and we hope to have a couple more next year. So you might have noticed there was the college teams.
Yes.
And there was a 4-H team from San Luis Obispo. So, you know, these kids aren't high school yet. They're elementary school. And we have a very good local 4-H packing group that they want to participate next year. So in addition to the individual packing things that all these kids are in, that the Backcountry Horsemen and Mariah and the group, I mean, they have weekly packing sessions, and it's just amazing what these kids can do.
And in addition to the entertainment, there's education.
There
They
is.
have
Well, you know, that goes along to the One Spade Youth Packers too.
yes,
You know, these
it's a
kids
great
are.
program.
I love the One Spade, and so
Sorry, tell them what the One Spade Packer is.
the One Spade Youth Packers, for those of you who are not familiar with them, it is run by an amazing group of people who bring in youth that are in challenging life situations. And in order to participate, the kids have to, you know, clamp down on their grades, and they learn the animal care, and then they learn to pack. And then they go out and they do trail maintenance, and they do projects out in the wilderness. So you learn responsibility and compassion and, giving back to your community. And they are a 501c3 organization based down in Kernville. Just an amazing group of kids, and they're a big part of the show, but it's just so cool to see that, they're not there just to be part of the show. They've earned the right to be there, and they're learning life skills, and it's just, I love it. Absolutely love that program.
Awesome.
And they're the founder of the One Spade Youth, Mr. Reed Hopkins. This year, he was our honoree as the Hall of Fame.
That's outstanding.
Yeah. It's just such a well-deserved honor. That man is, as we said, previously, he's just a class act. And we're proud to have him as part of Mule Days.
Yes. So what do we have to look for next year? Where's that?
Oh, almost a secret. I haven't got there yet. I don't even know. But I know that we're still at work. We being me, because now we're down to just me in the office. So we, the royal we, is, we're wrapping up the finances for this year, getting ready to reach out to some new sponsors that have expressed interest. So yeah, it's always a busy summer, even though it's that downtime, but there's a lot to get ready for next year.
Yes. It's the pre-headache.
Yeah.
We're going into the pre-headache. Okay. Cool.
So
I'm really looking forward to Mule Days again this year. And next.
I do. Yes. It just feels so good to be back on this positive track. And not that we were ever that far off, but just to really feel good about it.
Absolutely.
So we're going to be out there doing a lot of stuff and getting ready for many more years. Not just next year, many more years.
Absolutely. Donna, Executive Director, Mule Days. Thank you for coming in. Thank you for the post-action report. This is Jimmy T for Ion Inyomono, and be calm, remain calm, and Mule.
Well, yeah.
That was last year.
But it works.
It works.
Thanks
very much.
Up against Malachi Stern and Junior National for the junior high. 2024 Reserve State Champion Bull Riders. They call them Ty. Bull smashing that leg a little bit up against that gate. And all for it here. Right front. Now, hit it.
Hi, this is Chris Andriessen with Caltrans District 9, and I'm here to talk to you about 3 construction projects that are beginning June 2nd in Bishop and Big Pine. The Meadow Farms ADA project, the Bishop Pavement project, and the Fish Springs Pavement project will bring revitalized pavement and complete street elements to the towns of Big Pine and Bishop. Now, starting June 2nd, there's going to be a change in the speed limit on North Sierra Highway between the Fairgrounds and CV Lane. What is now 45 miles per hour will be 35 miles per hour as crews construct a multi-use path on the southbound side of the highway between the Fairgrounds sidewalk and CV Lane. This is just one of the many elements that people visiting Bishop or living in Bishop can expect to see over the next year as construction on all 3 of these projects moves forward. In addition to the multi-use path between the Fairgrounds and CV Lane, we're also building 2 multi-use paths on both sides of the highway between CV and Barlow on North Sierra Highway. We're also installing rapid rectangular flashing beacons at 4 points within Bishop to make crossing a more enjoyable experience for pedestrians. And in Big Pine, we're installing 3 pedestrian-activated crossing beacons in town, as well as implementing ADA improvements to the sidewalk and curb ramps within Big Pine, as well as repaving the highway from Elna Road all the way up through North Big Pine. Remember to slow for the cone zone and move over when you see those flashing lights. I'm Christopher Andriessen with Caltrans, whose mission is to improve lives and communities through transportation.
Hello, I'm Jeff Gabriel with Sierra Forever, and we're calling for papers for the 10th annual Eastern Sierra History Conference. It's going to be October 31st, November 2nd, 2025 at the Saracosa Community College here in Bishop, California. Calling for papers for those who may want to be presenters at the History Conference. It's Friday and Saturday where people make presentations. If you're interested in being a presenter and talking about the wonderful history here in the Eastern Sierra and the Sierra Nevada, you'll need to do a 250 abstract paper and submit it to Michelle at sierraforever.org. And we will then consider that for the 10th annual Eastern Sierra History Conference, October 31st, November 2nd, 2025. Again, I'm Jeff Gabriel with Sierra Forever. Educate, inspire, explore.
Attention Mono County residents. Hanta Virus is in our county. It's a rare disease, but it can be deadly, and more cases have been reported in Mono County than anywhere else in the state of California.
El antivirus se propaga a través de la orina, excremento y saliva de los ratones infectados.
Si los desechos infectados se propagan en el aire durante la limpieza, las personas que lo respiren pueden enfermarse gravemente.
Deer mice are common throughout California, but you can't tell by looking at a mouse whether it's infected or not. So we want you to treat all mice as if they're infected. Here's how to protect yourself.
Mantenga alejados a los ratones. Selle los agujeros del tamaño de un lápiz o más grandes por donde puedan entrar los ratones. Ponga trampas para ratones para atrapar a los que estén entrando. Limpie los excrementos de ratón, los nidos y otros desechos contaminados de forma segura. Siga estos pasos. En primer lugar, ventile cualquier zona contaminada durante 30 minutos antes de limpiarlo.
Spray the area with a disinfectant or freshly made bleach solution until very wet. Let it soak for at least 5 minutes. Use paper towels to wipe up the mouse droppings and urine. Do not sweep or vacuum, as this can stir up Hanta Virus into the air. Finally, wash your hands.
Recuerde, los ratones ciervos les gusta hacer sus hogares nuestros hogares y puede ser mortal.
Así que mantenga a los ratones fuera de su casa y protéjase mientras limpia su casa, su cochera y su auto.
Hello, this is Fred Rowe from Sarah Bright Tot Fly Fishing Guide Service. I've been teaching, guiding, writing, and lecturing on fly fishing since 1982. Let's get to this week's fly fishing report for June 20th to the 26th. Wow, that means 21st is summer solstice. We've peaked and we're heading towards fall. That sounds weird, but let's talk about how great the fishing is right now. So let's start with Hawk Creek. Man, it's been good. Nymphing, great. Dry fly fishing, great. So pick your poison, fish the way you want to fish. A lot of guys know me as a nympher, but the reality, if I can fish dry flies, that's as good as it gets. So what am I fishing? Dry flies in Hawk Creek? Well, we're using a size 16 pale morning dot. We're using a size 16 little yellow stonefly. So those are the biggest dry flies I ever get to fish in Hot Creek, so it's awesome. Nymphing, yeah, we're using size 18 olive quilligons, size 18 beadhead flashback pheasant tails. Okay, let's head over to the Upper Owens River. Well, trophy trout season's over. Fish have spawned. The fry, the eggs, the alba, they're up and out and they're moving, so we can kind of wait where we want again. But what's the fish doing? Well, we're finding some nice chunky brown trout in the 14 to 16 inch range of there. They're taking nymphs, they're taking streamers, and then the 8 to 12 inches. Rainbows and browns, they're taking dry flies. So what do we fish with in there? Well, nymphing, I'm using the olive quilligon, I'm using a size 16 beadhead flashback gold rip hare's ears. I'm using a size 18 beadhead flashback pheasant tail. On the surface, I'm using a size 16 pale morning dove. I'm using a size 16 elk hair caddis, and I'm using a size 18 blue wing olive parachute. Okay, let's head over to Crawley. Man, the guys are doing great out there. It's getting a little soupy and it's starting to get warm, so we're gonna have to start watching temperature out there, but they're fishing midges in 20 to 25 feet of water. And what are they fishing? Well, they're fishing blood midges, tiger midges, zebra midges. Okay, let's head down the hill. Lower Owens River, guess what? It's out, it's over 500. We'll talk about it when it drops. Let's go to Bishop Creek Canal. Man, it's been hot, middle of the day, but just to prove you can catch fish, I went out the other day, it was 90 plus degrees, and I used my Euro nymph rod, using a size 18 olive quilligon, a size 12 stoner, and a size 16 hotspot pheasant tail. I got 4 fish, half an hour. I went home because I proved what I wanted, even though it was hot. So this has been Fred Rowe, bringing you this week's fly fishing report. You can find me on Sierra Bright Dot's Facebook page, on their Instagram page, and then you can find me on my favorite, lpptv.us, and of course at Bishop Mahogany every Tuesday from 9 to 11.
Hello, I'm Gabriel, and I'm playing Snotlout, who is, I think, the thinking man's hero.
Why would I read words?
Snotlout represents what a Viking should be. He's head first, he's brash, he's big. In his mind, the ultimate Viking.
I'll take care of this!
The priorities are very much like being cool, getting the girl, maybe training some dragons at some point, if he has time. I don't think I've ever been on something where everyone is so excited. It's being made by fans, but there's this really gorgeous beating heart under the whole thing. It's just magic.
Hey, big guy! Aren't you gonna, teach us something first? I believe in learning on the job!
Pixar brings you the most original movie of the summer.
I knew aliens are looking for me! This is awesome!
On June 20th,
Follow me!
experience a new kind of adventure in 3D.
Whoa! I am not fireproof! Just get in my mouth. That was crazy!
Disney and Pixar's Elio. Rated PG. Only in theaters June 20th.